good, sweet water. H2O. Delicious. No, stop it.
Can you explain why it's so hard?
I'm not a plant.
For sure, if you water the plant like this, just with this device, I understand why it's so hard to water.
Yes, thank you for the helpful visual explainer. Hi everybody. So the day has finally come for us to install a drip irrigation system. This was always going to happen, but we had to kind of speed up our timeline a bit for two reasons. First of all, it turns out hand watering is super hard and takes a lot of time and energy. But second of all, we are in a drought this summer here in Northern California. So we want to be responsible gardeners and make sure that we are wasting as little water as possible. And the most water efficient way to deal with our plants is to install a drip irrigation system underneath the mulch, which makes sure that the least amount of water gets wasted and evaporated and the most of it gets absorbed into our plants, which is what we want. So we have had to learn real quick about drip irrigation systems, since neither of us have ever installed one before. I want to give a shout out to our county water district, which has been amazing, and they have set up a program linking us up with master gardeners for free to come and check out our garden and help us kind of understand how to be more water efficient with it. So if you live somewhere that has any kind of drought conditions, check out your local water board or your local whoever your local water agency is, and see if maybe they have something similar. That was a real godsend to help us kind of catch up quickly, learn the ropes. So, what goes into a drip irrigation system? First of all, you may have noticed that I'm not just holding this fabulous accessory, but it's also a half-inch irrigation pipe. So this is essentially just a flexible plastic pipe that connects from our spout all the way to wherever we want to drop off water in the garden. This is not porous, no water comes out of this, it's literally just a hose. This is 1/4-inch irrigation pipe. This is where all the magic happens. All the delicious water gets to our plants. There are two kinds of 1/4-inch pipe. So this one in particular is one that actually has drips built in every 6 inches. They usually sell these at 6, 12, and I think 18 inches if you're doing like trees. For our purposes, we wanted them every 6 inches. Each drip emits a ½ gallon per hour. So we have 16-foot roughly beds, which means we're going to be running 3 down the length of each annual bed, which is going to be a total of, let me do the math real quick, 48 feet of drip line, which means we're going to be releasing 48 gallons per hour. We are not going to be watering our annual beds for a full hour. However, that math makes it really easy for us to figure out how long we do need to water them. We know that each annual bed needs 8 gallons per watering. Waterings are every 3 days. And so to get 8 gallons out of 48, we simply have to divide by 6, which means we will be running our watering for 10 minutes every 3 days. And then these lines will deliver the exact amount of water that we know that our beds need.
And the last part, it's the actual connection to our water supply. So the first thing we have here is the filter. So ideally in a garden, we would use rainwater because it's clean. But here we don't have rainwater, so we use the tap water. The tap water has chlorine and chloramine to clean it, to kill the bacteria and the microbes. But in a garden, bacteria and microbes are really important, so we don't want to kill them when we're gonna water. So this is the link tap. It's the device that gives us the possibility to control the watering through Wi-Fi internet anywhere we are, through an app, and we can also program the watering at a certain time. It gives us the opportunity also to use an eco mode, 1 minute of watering, 1 minute rest, to let the water really absorb in the ground, and also to skip days where there's rain, and it has multiple other functions. It's really good. It's a lifesaver. We love it. The next piece is this tiny piece. It's the backflow preventer. So the backflow preventer, it works by if there's water coming back in the pipe, it would spill out of these holes and doesn't go back inside of the system. And finally, the last piece is a pressure regulator. If the it's meant to reduce the pressure of the water coming from this pipe, because if the pressure is too high, it may make the small connectors of the dripping system pops out.
So we've already dug the trench for our half-inch pipe, and we're running 2 half-inch pipes side by side so that we can water the annual beds and the fertility beds at different times with separate zones so that we don't have to overwater one or the other. And now we're going to start installing our quarter-inch tubing so that we can start actually watering our beds, which is a super exciting thing for us. So come along and we'll show you how that works, and hopefully by the end of the day, we will be drip watering our annual beds. So we have installed our first 3 quarter-inch lines down our first bed here. This is the bed that has zucchini, potatoes, and beans. If we had done this in the ideal way, we would have placed these lines before we planted anything and before we put the mulch. But we're kind of figuring this out as we're going, so we had to do a fair bit of work to kind of move mulch to the side and make sure the lines were where they should be. But they're all set in place. So we've got our quarter-inch line. This is our last one. We're going to do a hookup. And what we're going to do is attach it to our half-inch pipes. We just use this little punch key to kind of get a nice little hole in this guy. Boom. And then we have this little connector piece. It's a straight connector. And then we just take our quarter-inch tubing here, and we're just going to pop that right on. So we're going to do our first test of our drip line, which is very exciting. I'm going to control this via the app. I did not prepare for this at all. So we're going to learn in real time if we've done this right. I get to use the fun little Link Tap app. They did not sponsor this. We're not receiving anything from them. We just are trying their product. Cool. And if I click instant watering on, I believe that should just start watering them now. We'll do a 5-minute water just to test. We're going to activate. Watering will start in 15 seconds.
Yep,
We hear that? All right, look at that. Our drip emitters are working. Those are half-gallon emitters. So every 6 inches, they are dropping a half-gallon per hour. The one change we did make from the original plan is we actually started with, we've replaced the beginning part of the pipe with just a standard quarter-inch tubing with no holes in it, so we don't have any drippage down the side, so we're not wasting any water. And then we've attached a valve that we're going to put right here at the start of each line. And what's great about these valves is if the arrow is pointing forward this way, it means water's going through. But if, for example, we want to water one part of a bed or another, we can just do that, like that, and that'll stop the water from coming through that tube. That's our new system. I'm going to attach this guy, and now we're going to have a new line running into our tomato bed. Voila! Magic. Hey Salim,
Yes.
turn around. I'm watering the plants.
I hate you so much.